What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. My name is Chase, and this is That Sounds Terrible. Today's episode is a head-to-head comparison. We're going to do the Volt 876 by Universal Audio and the Evo16 by Audient. So, two fantastic audio interfaces, and I thought it would be good to kind of do a head-to-head since I am upgrading to the Volt 876. We're going to do a lot of audio clips at the end of this video. In the beginning, I want to talk about the direct comparisons between the two units, the prices, the features, and things of that nature. Use the description below to have the ease of access to the different clips. We're going to use the DI signal straight into the interface with the guitar, and then we're going to do a clean channel and a dirty channel. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and dive right on into it. All right, so I've got some notes. Let's go over the two of the units. So first, we'll talk about the Evo16. So the current retail price is $750. It is on sale at the time of filming for $675 US. Now, the Volt does sell retail for $1,000, $999.99. It is not currently on sale. The differences that I found between the two units were this. The Evo does have a small screen that has a multifunction knob on the unit. The knob is basically the volume, input gain, output gain, headphone volume, your functions button. So it does kind of everything. It's, just the turn dial with a click. So having the on-screen menu is an advantage. It is also a disadvantage at the same time, just for simple ease of use kind of things. So for example, to turn the unit on and off, you have to go into the menu, cycle the unit down, or restart it. Whereas with the Volt, it's just a simple dedicated power button. I prefer the dedicated power button. So both of them are USB. And this is kind of where I found it to be a little interesting. So the Volt can do 28 simultaneously over USB. It'll do 28 in and 24 in and 28 out. The Evo is 24 and 24. The ADAT, or the optical, which both of them have two optical connections, the connectors are 24-bit 96 hertz on the Evo, whereas the Volt is 32-bit and 192 respectively. So the ADAT, or the analog digital conversion, is 24-bit 96 Evo, 32 192, or 32 192 on the Volt. They both have 8 inputs, analog inputs, and they both have 8 analog outputs. There's 8 1/4-inch TRS out, and then it's 8 combination jacks, so XLR and 1/4-inch inputs. Both units have a mic line instrument level input on the front. There's 2 of those. The rest of your inputs will be on the back. So that's all kind of the same. What else do I have? There is one BNC connector on the Evo for a world clock linking 1 unit, whereas with the Volt, it has 2 BNC and you can link up to 3 units. So kind of a big difference there. Now the smart gain on both of these units is pretty straightforward. It works the same. Select the channels you want, tell it which ones are going to be the smart gain, hit start, run your signal through it, or play the instrument, and then it does its thing. The difference between them is the Evo has a dedicated button. So there's a button where you can press, select the channels, press it again, that's it, you're done. Whereas with the Volt, it's only functionable through the user interface, which kind of is a bummer, because if you just kind of wanted to, have quick access to it, it's all done through your interface. Not that it's a huge thing, at least there isn't a way that I have found yet, and I don't think there is a dedicated way to do it on the actual unit. So when it comes to the interface, I think the Volt has a slight advantage. To me, it's more refined. It's a little cleaner, so to speak. The Evo is very simple. It's very simplistic, and it's very minimalist. Basically, you have your sliders, you have your 48-volt phantom power, you have your smart gain function, and you have your polarity or phase inversion. And that's it, and a mute, and that's it. That's all there is. You do have the ability to send different cues. You can have 5 different mixes on the Evo. You can only have 2 cue mixes on the Volt, plus the main, obviously. Yeah, so that's kind of the main differences, the main comparisons between the two. I don't remember what the Volt actual gain is. I will look it up and put it as a footnote. But the Evo I have listed at 58 dB of gain on those preamps. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I didn't look it up. I forgot to. So speaking of that, the main difference is that the Volt has MIDI input output. The Evo does not. The Volt also has the vintage mode and the 76 FET compressor. And it has 3 different settings. There is a fast, guitar, and vocal. The fast is the fast release, fast attack. The guitar is a fast attack with a slow release, and the vocal is a slow attack with a fast release. So it's kind of the opposite. They're probably just the most popular settings, more or less. But yeah, so that's 3 different, functions or 3 different settings on that 76 compressor. And it's the same on all of the Volt series. So if you've ever used any of those, it's going to be the same. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into the actual sounds, and we'll start to go from there. All right, so this is going to be kind of long, so I want to break it down real simply. So we've got just the DI signal in the bluish color here. The orange you're going to see down here at the bottom is going to be just the dirty channel, and then of course our clean channel here. There is no plugins. There's nothing else going on. So just so that you're aware. So the speakers are going to be the ISO cabinet. So it's going to be, the SM57 that I use on the DV77 and a Eminence Carnivore. So that's what the ISO cab is capturing. That's what you're going to hear. The amp that we used is my Mesa single rectifier. It's actually out of frame. And I don't remember which particular guitar I used. Not that it really matters, but it, the amp was boosted. I was boosting it with a 1517 from Westminster Effects. And, that's kind of the dirty channel. The clean channel is just the clean channel of the single rectifier. So let's dive into just the clean DI signal of the Evo. All right, so that's going to be the DI signal. There is some subtle differences, as you can tell. The Volt to me sounds kind of more hi-fi sounding, if that makes any sense. There's a little bit more top end. It's open sounding, but they're pretty close. So now I'm going to play just the Volt DI. I'll play all of these kind of back to back, and they're listed. So this is the vintage mode on. Then we have just the compressor on the guitar setting, and then we have the vintage and guitar setting. So I will play all of these back to back and then you can listen that way. All right, there you have it. That is all of the DI signals back to back. You guys can make your assumptions and opinions and post them down below. Down here, you'll notice I do have everything kind of leveled just so that the audio stays consistent. I didn't want to have any loud jumps or spikes or anything. So I tried to level the audio between all of them as consistently as I could. So that is what you're seeing down here. Again, we have no extra plugins or anything turned on. So let's go ahead and move on to the dirty channel. So this is going to be the Evo16 starting off. We'll do a quick play-by of both the Evo, the Volt, and then we'll do a little in between. And then I'll run through them individually and you guys can listen back to back. All right, so right there is a difference, right? So I'm hearing the Evo is a little more scooped sounding, and the Volt sounds a little warmer, a little less top end. Let's play those back really quickly. Yeah, I definitely think there's a little bit being scooped out in the upper mids on the Volt, which kind of gives it a slightly warmer kind of tone. Or I'm sorry, it has a reduced top end, so it sounds a little warmer, but the Evo definitely to me sounds a little scooped in the upper mids, somewhere probably around 500 to 2000, somewhere in that ballpark. It kind of has that sound. So all right, we're gonna listen to them one by one. All right, so that is the dirty channel with a 1517 from Westminster Effects going through the Mesa. So the Volt definitely sounds warmer than the Evo. The Evo has a slight scoop to it, but when you enable that vintage mode, it adds a nice airy presence to the Volt. And I thought it sounded fantastic on the Volt with the vintage. So I'm going to compare that real quick to the Evo, and I want to see how just the Evo with the Volt on the vintage sounds. Let's see. Yeah, so that vintage mode adds a nice top end presence back. And yeah, that sounds really good. So let's go ahead and move on to the clean channel. And the clean channel is actually I think the one that's going to show the biggest differences between the two. Obviously with the distortion channel or any kind of gain, you know, there's a lot going on in that audio. So let's see how well the cleans sound. Right out the gate, you can hear it. The Volt has more low end. It sounds wider. And the Evo definitely has more clarity on the top end. It sounds to me like a large low pass or a low cut on the Evo. There's nowhere near the amount of low end transferring through. I mean, you can hear it on that first opening note clear as day. Big difference. Let's go ahead and play them all the way through and let's see what they sound like. There you have it, everybody. That is the differences between the Volt 876 by Universal Audio and the Evo16 from Audient. Both of these units are fantastic. As you heard in the sound samples, I really think that the Evo is a great tool. I think it's great for an intermediate person. It is very transparent for the most part, but in some of those audio and clips anyways, you can at least hear there are subtle differences. There is more on the top end. There is a tighter low end roll off. So it's tighter sounding. And if you're looking for the most transparent tone or the most unaltered tone, that may not be the interface for you. Of course, some of that stuff can be manipulated later on using plugins and things of that nature in your DAW, or depending upon how you mix everything. But for what I'm doing, it doesn't really matter. I don't know. It's a hobby. I thought this was a great comparison, just to kind of show the differences between the analog preamps on the Volt 876 versus those preamps in the Evo16. Again, both of these units are fantastic. Again, I don't need my Evo anymore. I'm probably going to end up selling that. And I'm really happy so far with the Universal Audio. So the Volt 876 should last me until I'd either become a professional, which I don't see that happening anytime ever. So yeah, I'm pretty good. So unless something else comes out in the near future, in 3 to 5 years from now, who knows? Again, thanks for watching. Tell me what you guys thought overall, and I'll see you in the next one.